You may or may not know this, but photos require light.
I'm a Joe and I know that. You didn't know that, Pro?
I'm just photos.
So there.
That's it, folks. Matterport. Docusketch just walked off. Hard-hitting questions from the DYOJO Podcast. Pro versus Joe. No one can hang.
I wasn't prepared to do a podcast this morning. For those of you watching,
It's not that many.
We like to keep you on your toes.
like seven. For the seven of you watching,
7's probably generous.
Hey, man.
this is the stupidest podcast I've ever been on.
Welcome to our show.
Okay, I thought I had an innovative idea. I've been working behind the scenes for a while to try to put a collaborative episode together with. I wanted to juxtapose the Matterport Docusketch resources in the property restoration, skilled trades. A lot of realtors use it. A lot of adjusters are now using it, which is one of our guests for today. But I wanted, instead of one podcast with just one subject matter expert, get a couple of different inputs, some technicians, people in the field, those kinds of things. And so we did that. But before I could get mine out, that stinker, that jerk face, Jarrett Steer.
What's crazy, like with the gi stuff, like you can just like get choked out with your pant leg or something.
Yeah.
What is going on? Yeah, that stuff's crazy.
If you know him, you know he's a real turd. Yeah, Jarrett, hope you're listening. Actually, he's probably one of the nicest, most genuine people in our industry, but he had a really good episode, if you haven't listened to it yet, on the GMS Podcast, where he took 4 contractors, restoration contractors. I think they had to be 3 years or less, and it's the episode entitled The New Guys. But he goes through kind of their perspectives, how they got into the industry, who's helped them, those kinds of things. It was a really, really good episode. All of his episodes are really good. Yeah, please check out the GMS Podcast. A lot of awesome stuff out of there. We just recently recorded on my book. If you haven't heard of it yet, boy, you're gonna get your buckle in, get yourself ready. Be Intentional Estimating by John Eikenson. The Intentional Restorer. So our friends, you'll notice at Actionable Insights, sent me this really cool hat. They also sent me a really cool belt. I'm going to shout out Seth and Watley. I had been looking at a Grip 6 belt for a little while and just debating whether I was going to pull the trigger on buying a more expensive belt that I thought would last longer. And they had one custom printed with their Actionable Insights logo on it. So be careful, because not only is Facebook listening to you, I think the Actionable Insights guys are listening as well. So
you guys, Linda.
Is on Docusketch, and so what we're trying to do is not just be an advertisement. You saw in the show opener, we had Docusketch. Brian and I, Brian Close from Pro vs. Joe from All American Restoration. We had Docusketch, Jeff from Docusketch, here in the studio, face-to-face, via Zoom call, and the questions we asked, he walked off the set. Yeah, so if you're wondering, stay tuned till the end and see what question did yours truly, DYOJO Podcast, Pro vs. Joe, asked Jeff Turner from Docusketch that made him walk off the set, because it doesn't get any more hard-hitting than this, ladies and gentlemen. We took it to him. We represent the people, the tens of people that are listening, and we really dug deep. But also, Chris Phillipsen, Operations Manager of Quality Cleaning and Restoration in Massachusetts. So we are pretty much on opposite ends of the country, coming to you from Tacoma. This is
Mount Rainier behind me. It's not actually behind me, but it's the backdrop.
If you don't know where that is, if you're on the West Coast, it's on the opposite coast. That's east. It's on the East Coast. Alex Blagojevich, she is a commercial property adjuster with Claims Pro out of Canada. That's right. We had a Canadian on the show.
So is it true that's why you came on the podcast, to just spread socialism?
Yes, exactly. We're trying to infiltrate everyone.
And as you saw in the show opener, the only reason she came on the show, our episode with her will be coming out, full episode will be coming out, and her whole goal is just to spread socialism. So, not going to have it. You best believe we didn't allow that to happen on the DYOJO Podcast. No socialist is taking over this platform. And then we had Kevin Hussey, CEO and president of United Fire and Water Damage out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
For our purposes, Docusketch provided enough information for us to be able to write a complete scope.
So we had a fun time, really fun time that just recorded recently with him. So he's going to share some of his thoughts on Docusketch. And then, so we got an ops manager, an adjuster, someone from the other side. We got the enemy on the show. And then a CEO, high level view of it as well. And then Jeff Turner, Chief Strategy Officer at Docusketch, joined us.
Welcome to our show.
To ask, we were asking them from the standpoint of All American Restoration Services, but also for you, the viewing and listening audience of the DYOJO Podcast. So